Talk Radio Sports Show, the England Roger Sports Hour. Roger, it's a beautiful week this week, but there's talk about some changes and even snow for next week.
Yeah, good
You
morning,
know,
Ingle. I don't know what to say about these weathermen. I think they're drinking something.
it's
After
got
this
to be.
weather, how could the snow be coming? It's impossible, Ingle. It's supposed to getting warmer.
It's got to be impossible. This week I enjoyed 3 rounds of golf yesterday, played
Wow.
around, and it was so hot that I
It was
can't
in the,
believe.
I guess on the, out there it must have felt like in the 30s, right?
It did. It did
Yeah.
actually. I played a little bit north up in Campville, and I thought it would have been cooler, but the heat
Yeah.
is something
It
else.
was quite hot, I must admit.
Yeah,
And, sometimes sitting in an office, it's like, oh, we're not May yet. We can't turn on the AC. So what
yeah,
is going on here? So we're boiling up in the office. You're boiling up outside. And next week is snow. It's
yeah.
just crazy.
I was in the office this week a few days and had the same thing. I had the ACs off, so I had the windows open
Open, yeah,
and
yeah.
the fan is going, but
In April.
in
In April, you
April.
gotta have the fan going and the windows
Yeah.
open. Oh my word.
So
It's a crazy place
yeah,
we live in.
it is. But other than that, a lot's been happening with sports.
Tons, tons.
Turns out we're gonna give you the usual cricket. We'll talk some track and field and an interest in the current games, Roger. And I'm sure you've got
Oh,
a lot to say about that.
oh, interesting is an understatement.
It's
Oh my
understood.
word.
A lot of
That was,
controversy in that one, but
it was something else. Some
you
people
will
are
break it
saying
down.
we should boycott it. It's that bad, I tell you. It's just
Yeah, maybe
crazy.
we should just boycott the country, maybe if they host again.
Some people said that as well. Some people
Yeah,
said that as well.
yeah.
But yeah, lots going on in sports for
Lots is
sure.
going on in sports, lots in track and field, and you'll break it all down for us.
Sure.
Yeah, and
Tons
the
in
next
cricket as
one,
well. I see my
lots in
my
cricket.
friend getting fired and all of that. I
Yeah,
annoyed the hell out of me. I was like, what is going on here? So
yeah, the whole staff change, and
sports is
yeah, and
upside
also
down.
yeah, some football, and we're gonna discuss is Arsenal finally cracking?
You know what? We'll find out this weekend.
Yeah,
So
we'll find out this
I
weekend for
think
sure.
I think they're ready to crack at this late
Mhm.
stage. And this is where it usually comes in, right? When the rubber hits the road and you see 5 games left and everybody's after you and you have to win and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
Real pressure is on them now, and we're gonna find out what they're made of. Their coaches seems like a fiery guy who's gonna do what he can, but I'm not sure how he's gonna handle the lows. He handled the high pretty good so far. Let's see how he handles if it goes low.
yeah, we'll see for sure. And while we left you last weekend, there were some few things that were happening, finishing up, like the Masters golf and
Oh,
John Ram.
you killed me there, Ingle. I mean, yeah, yeah, I have to give it to you.
Yeah,
You killed me there. So I
yeah.
thought Kopska would have held on, and you know what? Ram did something that is very special.
No, he's a special player. I mean, even this weekend he's playing. He was some like +1 at the start of the day yesterday and ended up at -6. This guy is just
Yeah,
phenomenal.
he just
And
turns it on.
to
Turns it
play
on.
week in, week out, he got the green jacket. Now he's trying for the plaid jacket this
Oh
weekend.
my
He
God.
wants the double jackets
He
and
loves jackets.
yeah, the RBC, and he's doing pretty well. And I thought when you look at a guy like John Ram and the way he plays, he's so aggressive and confident.
He is. He is.
He
He is.
feels that no matter how far anybody's ahead of him, he
Can
can catch
catch them.
them and
And that's
win.
what he used to win last week, I can tell you that, because
Yeah,
it was a daunting task.
it
But
was
what
def-
he did to come from and win by four, it was like, whoa,
yeah,
this
it
guy's
was
on fire.
yeah, and Kepka wasn't too happy because he said Cantley was in front of him playing slow,
Yeah,
keeping
he
him
complained
down.
about that.
He complained he wasn't too happy about that at all. And
That can throw you off your game though.
it can,
When you're in a rhythm and this guy in front of you is just not moving fast enough, yeah, it can be a problem.
it can definitely. And he's been known to play slowly. And
Yeah.
maybe they got to bring in some rules like what they do in baseball now. They give you a time clock, you know?
They should. They
Yeah,
should.
because
For these majors at least. Maybe not for the regular tournaments, but for the
for
big
the
ones.
yeah, it's really puts you off when you're playing that slow.
They got
So
millions and millions of dollars on the line here. So please move along, son. Move along.
exactly. Yeah, but yeah, so we'll keep an eye on what's happening at the RBC and see how he goes this weekend. not a familiar name at the top of the table. It's Walker is at the top of the table, and
Yeah.
he played pretty well. So
He's just keeping it warm for Ram.
I think so because I don't think
He's gonna hold on.
going yeah I don't think he's gonna hold on. Scheffler is there. Scheffler is there also, the world number two,
Yeah, yeah,
and so he's got some pressure on him. And
yeah.
when you're not accustomed to winning, then
Very
it's really gonna be
tough.
pressure in the last 2 days.
Very tough to hold on. As I said, Arsenal is gonna experience that as well. But
Uh,
anybody in tennis, any sport, when the pressure, when the bullseye's on your back and the lights are on and the millions of people are looking at you, it's a lot of pressure.
for sure. And as you mentioned, tennis, Djokovic, wow, upset
Yeah,
in the round of 16. A big surprise there. So Musetti beat him 6-4, 7-5, 6-4, and surprised at that.
I
Maybe it's the
think
rest.
I know he went in and from his first round he was looking, he wasn't looking the same Djokovic to say the truth.
Right.
Yeah, he didn't look good in this tournament. It's a clay tournament that it's probably not his favorite court. I don't know what it was, but he was just not in sync with what's going on out there from first game. And
Mm,
it's that whole tournament though is going crazy because
yeah.
the champion is out, Medvedev is out, so
Yeah.
a lot of upsets going on here.
Yeah, semi-final ongoing right now with Rublev and Fritz, and Rublev they're tied 1-1, and but Rublev is up in the third set 3-2, and the
Okay,
other semifinals will be Sinner and Rune.
Rune,
So
yeah, yeah,
yeah, as you said, it's a bit surprising to see who's there, and
yeah.
it's going to be some interesting tennis
Yeah, I'm sort of leaning towards Rune, but I mean, let's see how he goes. I'm sort of leaning towards him for this tournament, but
for this. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
and the women there in Stuttgart, not any big names really
No,
in
no.
there. So, but
Well, last weekend we saw Ons Jabeur though secured her
yeah,
first title of the season. You
yes,
know,
she did finally.
beating Bencic in the
Mhm.
Charleston Open there. So, and she's coming on. I mean, I'm surprised she has gotten to as low as five because I think she's better than that. But I think she's gonna find a way back up closer to the top now.
She will. I think so. I think she'll definitely get it back there. And after that finals in the Australian Open, she's not played very well,
No,
but she's getting her way back up for sure.
I think she's one of the better ones out there. So I think she's there. Sometimes you just go through this lull where you just go down, or maybe you're just tired, or your body's just not reacting the way you just need a break, and maybe that's what she needed, and now she's on her way back.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely.
But we also
Rogers,
saw,
go
saw
ahead.
Nadal.
Nadal, he's pulled out of another one, right?
Yeah, so it's his time of year, as you know, because he always wins
Play
the French
court.
Open in May, right?
Hmm.
And we're coming up to May, and he's not playing. So is this the year that he's gonna say, you know what, enough is enough? I can't get over my injuries to keep going. I know he wants to win one more. I think.
He does
I,
want to win one more, but
I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. If he can make
it's
it.
not. It's the news don't get better for him because he pulled out of. I think it's Barcelona. He pulled out.
Barcelona, yeah, he pulled out of
Yeah,
Barcelona this week. Yeah.
and that's probably saying that he may be not even playing the French Open, which is his court,
That's
right?
what I'm saying. I mean, that's his. He owns that whole
He
tournament,
owns. Yeah,
and to see that he's not getting a warm up to get there. I mean, I'm a little concerned now. I mean, he's getting older, and he's saying he's not going to play unless he feels like he's at a certain percentage, and he's just not there.
yeah. I think. Yeah, he's not gonna be. He may not be ready because the French Open is next month, and
Yeah, it's May. Yeah,
it's May, so it's gonna be difficult. Even if he's ready, he may not be at top form. So
it's hard because I don't think he has played pretty much since Australia, right?
no, he hasn't played. He's withdrawn from a lot of tournaments.
Everything has withdrawn
Yeah,
from, so he's
yeah,
not going to be. Well, you never know with him though. He's not. Maybe he's going to be sharp and just surprise us, but on a regular guy, he would not be sharp coming into this.
yeah. And even if he starts, there's that possibility he won't finish a tournament. It's injured.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so as well. I think so
so
as
that's
well.
it. Sure.
It's going to be interesting because I was thinking if it's not going to be him, it's going to be Djokovic who's going to take it because they're both. I wouldn't say desperate to get one of these things, to finish off their careers, but they're pushing hard to get it. But it seems like both of them are struggling a bit right now.
Yeah, both are struggling, and I think I wouldn't bet too much on Djokovic and Clay, but maybe there's something like the U.S. Open coming up next.
Yeah. for
You
sure.
can look for him for
For
sure. But
Wimbledon and the U.S.
Wimbledon,
Open, yeah,
yeah, those are the tournaments that he can
yeah,
win.
he
But you
should win.
never know if he gets. You never know with him because if he gets a couple of games under him, he's very determined to always win.
There you go. If he's in
Yeah,
there and he keeps it going, he'll find a way. That's what I've noticed with him. He finds a
yeah,
way
for
to
sure.
win.
Yeah, Roger, it's beside the tennis, it's this time of the year for when we get to the NBA playoffs, and
Oh yeah,
the
oh yeah.
Raptors fans are not happy. They didn't.
Were,
They played in the play in their
were,
last.
were, were you at the game?
No, I wasn't. Didn't
Did
even.
you even watch it, or
I did.
did you throw away your drinks and say, "What is going on?"
No, I didn't watch it. I said, let me look at the results at the end and then look at them when they get in the playoffs. But I watched the highlights and I mean, that lead that they had was
They
16,
had a
was it?
19-point lead.
19.
How
Wow.
could you a playoff game? It's a play in, but it's a playoff
Play,
anyway.
yeah, playoff. It's,
And 19 point on top
hmm
and lose at home? Oh my
no.
word. I can't explain what must be going on in their heads right now, but it was a shock to me.
It
Because
is for
I
sure.
wasn't watching the whole game, but when I saw them up like that, I'm saying, okay, they're on cruise control. I don't have to watch it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found out that I should have sat and watched it.
Should have sat and watched it. Yeah. I
Not sure
have
if
a
that made
friend.
a difference, but
I have a friend, and he's once Raptors are playing, don't call him. So I
yeah,
can
yeah,
imagine he must be cursing and throwing everything at
yeah.
the TV.
I tell
You
you,
know,
quite a few did that.
yeah,
Quite a few
it
did that.
was really shocking. Yeah,
It
I'll
was embarrassing. I see it as
probably see him
embarrassing.
today, so we'll see how I'll ask him. I'll just say, how was the game?
Should ask him how's his TV doing. If
How
is
was
your
his
TV
TV?
still
Yeah,
there?
true.
Oh boy. But also we saw out west though. I think some interesting games out west, and LeBron, LeBron. So he
LeBron.
showed up. He showed up
Yeah,
when it matters, and he's put his Lakers through into the Western Conference playoffs. So big game, 30 points, 10 rebounds, 108, 102 overtime victory against Minnesota. So kudos to him.
yeah, and to overtime, and he made sure he didn't want to have another game because the loser would have
Exactly,
played again yet last night,
exactly,
and it was
exactly.
like he just wanted to get there, and they get the Grizzlies.
Which is going to be to me. There are two things out west I want to see. I want to see the Grizzlies against the Lakers with Ja Morant and LeBron, and of course I want to see the Clippers against the
And the
Suns.
Suns, yeah.
I think that is the playoff game of the tournament this year for me. The first round playoff, big
First round, the
matchup.
Suns and Clippers.
Yes,
Yeah, and
that
then the other games are the Kings and the Warriors and the number one Nuggets and the Timberwolves who won last night.
the
So
Timberwolves came back. You see,
yeah,
they had to play the two games, but they won the
yeah,
second one, right? So,
correct.
like, wow,
Bit
wow.
of surprise in the other game for me. I thought Chicago would take Miami, but Miami won.
Well, I wasn't. I thought Miami would have just been cruising here because they have
Oh,
the right
okay.
veterans on the
They
team.
have some good players, some
Yeah,
veterans. Yeah,
yeah, they're just not in sync. But who knows? They won and now they're in. So let's see if they can find a way to turn it on against the Bucks. But
gonna be a tough
it's
one.
going to be very tough. But you know what? They got Jimmy Butler over there.
Butler,
They got Kyle Lowry.
yeah, is there.
So you just never know. You never
Yeah,
know. Yeah, I felt they would have come through. I mean, as Butler said, he didn't understand why they were the underdogs. So
yeah,
I'm with him on that one, actually.
yeah. And then the other games, you've got Cavaliers and the Knicks matchup, the
Yeah.
76ers and the Nets, and Celtics and the Hawks. So some good matchups.
Good matchup. Good matchups
Yeah,
there. I think the Celtics. I just want to see this. To me, it's going to be Celtics, Bucks, and of course the Philadelphia. I tell you, Philly. I don't know. There's all these talk about Philly for so many years, and Embiid is supposed to be MVP. And
yeah.
let's see what they can do this year. I mean,
This
Doc is a good coach, but in my opinion, he's been a little sketchy over the last couple of years.
he's
So
lucky to be still there.
exactly,
Yeah,
he survived and he's in the playoffs now. So let's see if he can take them to the top. But the East is gonna both East and West is gonna be very very interesting. Right? No
yeah,
clear favorite for me. No clear
that's
favorite.
so true. And it's all stats. So, and the games are starting tomorrow, is it?
Yep, yep.
Yeah, at 1 p.m.
It kicks
So
off, and
kicks
when it
off.
kicks
Yeah,
off, you know what it is. People are gonna be glued
yeah.
to their TV. As soon as it starts. Well, they have games today actually. I
Is
think
it
today, yeah, I
Saturday?
think
Oh
they
yeah,
have,
Saturday the 15th, right? Yeah.
yeah,
This
today's the
afternoon
15th,
at 1 p.m., correct.
1 p.m. Yeah, the
Yeah, the
Nets and the
Nets and the
76ers.
76ers start at 1 p.m. Then Hawks play Cavaliers,
The Celtics,
Celtics, sorry, at 3:30.
yep,
Knicks and Cavaliers at
Warriors,
6, and then Warriors Kings at 8:30. So
8:30.
that's
Yeah,
today,
yeah.
yeah.
Starts today. So it's going to be, as I said, some really nice games. For today, of course, I'm looking for the 76ers to win. The Celtics should win. And I think the Cavaliers also should win. The Warriors should win.
Shouldn't.
I don't know. They've been a little sketchy this year, but I
They have
think,
been. But they've got, you never know. It's Steph.
well, yeah. Clay Thompson, Steph, whenever
Steph,
they decide to turn it on,
you know,
they can turn it on. They
they
have a good.
can definitely turn
I
it
don't
on.
think they can go all the way this year, but you never know with them.
That's
You
so
never
true.
know. Interesting coach, with some nice plays and all of that. So, his imagination is always good, and he finds a way to find them to enjoy themselves and do well. So, never mark them out. Never mark them out. But it's going to be tough for them.
It will be for sure. So those are the things that are happening outside of the main sports that we discuss, and there's a lot of
There's one more
basketball.
before we run
But,
away. We always talk a
mhm.
little F1. So,
Right?
I don't know. I think George Russell made this comment that he thinks the Red Bull guys are taking it easy on the rest of the field because they don't want they feel bad for the rest of the field because they're so far ahead. I don't know how you feel
Oh,
about that
okay.
statement.
Wow. Didn't see that one, but that's a hell of a statement because if they're winning so easily and if they have more left in them,
Exactly. He's saying they're embarrassed to show their full potential.
so they can lap everybody, I guess you
I
say.
guess, I guess, but they just don't want it to look so bad. So
Wow.
I
That
don't know if
would,
that is true or not. I don't know.
and
I don't know. But
and
they can win whenever they want, though. I can
I
say that
believe they
much.
can. I honestly believe the car is so good that they can win anytime they want to,
Yeah,
and the other cars are far behind. So
way behind.
whatever they did to make sure, because remember a few years ago, Verstappen used to complain and say Mercedes, Lewis is only winning because he have the best car.
It's car. There you go.
Right.
So
But
it's not a driver anymore. It's a car.
it's the car. So now I guess he figured, well, they figured let's get the best car.
Let's get the best car, and it's by
Yeah,
far the best car. So
it is the best car. And yeah, there was one of his there was a writer the other day actually saying that this Verstappen may not last very long because he's not happy, he's not enjoying it.
oh,
He
really?
has other things that he want to do in life and don't expect him to be around driving for a while. So that's an
Interesting.
interesting comment for a 28 year old, I think he is.
Wow, he's a young kid
Yeah,
here. What is he
yeah,
talking about? You're the best in the
exactly.
world right now, and you're going to be the best in the world this year again. It looks like. What
Hmm.
more do you want, son? What
Yeah,
else is out there for you?
yeah, and for real, and Ferrari, they have a hearing tomorrow because they asked for a review of the penalty
To
given
signs.
to Sainz, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I saw
so
that.
that hearing is on the 18th, not tomorrow. So
Yeah,
because
Tuesday.
that pushed him from fourth down to 12th
Well,
positions.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes.
for sure, for
It's
sure.
always something in Formula One
Oh,
recently.
these days it's like every week, every day, something else is coming out,
Something is,
which is
yeah.
just different from, I wouldn't say it was a boring sport, but not much happened in terms of news. But suddenly they're in the news every day now.
And maybe that's the thing because maybe they're saying like, you have to get it better. You need to do
Yeah,
something. So
yeah. Maybe that's the push
maybe
to get
that's the push
to
more.
get
Yeah,
out, get out there.
get the fans interested.
Yeah, because tell you what, I mean, people that don't talk about F1 are talking about it now, so
Yeah,
they're doing a good job with that.
for sure. Okay, we'll keep an eye on all those things. But we'll get on to some cricket and Virat Kohli, your boy, Virat
Yep.
Kohli, he had his third 50 today, and in a winning cause. At one time, I was thinking that 174 wasn't enough. We expected them to get closer to 200 because of the way they started,
Yeah.
but they fell away and they lost. There was a hat trick, but not for one bowler. It was a team hat trick. Just three wickets went in three
Three
balls.
balls. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and but then yeah, the Delhi Capitals only could get 151. With that batting lineup, I thought that was going to be
Me
easy for
too.
Delhi.
Me too.
But when you've got your best batsman not doing too well, then Warner when he got 19, Prithvi Shaw got a duck, and Mitchell Marsh got a duck. Dill won, and then Axar Patel tried his best in the bottom there and panned
But
at
yeah,
50,
yeah.
but 151 wasn't enough, and so Coley's smiling again. I actually celebrated like the old Coley.
Maybe he's on his way back up. I think he was just tired, in my opinion. I still think he's probably well, definitely one of the best out there. But yeah, he dropped off a bit and he got a lot of pressure from his Indian fans because they're the craziest fans in the world. And yeah, but he's tough. And I
He's a
think
tough guy.
he's showing that he's tough now by bouncing back, getting consistent again. We'll see if he's gonna be back the Virat Kohli that I know.
Yeah. So they won that game this morning, and the game ongoing now is Lucknow Super Giants versus Punjab Kings, and a great start for Lucknow so far. They're 42 and without loss. Kyle Myers is on fire. He's on 27 and 16 balls.
He's going nice.
Going nice. KL Rahul is on 14. You still have Nicholas Pura and Marcus Stoinis, those guys to come.
Yeah.
So if they continue with the way that Puran has got the fastest 50 so far in IPL this season, he had it 16 balls. So if they continue along the way they've been going, they can get well over 200.
They should get over 200 this game, I think. They should.
Yeah, they definitely should. And we will keep you updated on that. And points table, Roger. It's Lara's team started to win.
Oh my word! Good for him.
Sunrisers, they won yesterday. They won two in a row. So they've gone from bottom of the table and they're inching their way up. But
Up.
Rajasthan Royals, they're at the top.
Yeah.
4 games, 3 wins, 6 points. Lucknow's got 4, 3 wins as well. 6-6. Gujarat 6. KKR 4. Chennai 4. Punjab 4. Royal Challengers Bangalore 4. And Sunrisers 4. One thing I wanted to ask you about the IPL, because watching the game yesterday, and when commentators start to make certain comments, you wonder if it's the end of a player's career. Now, they were talking a lot about Russell, and he's not staying on the park enough because he bowled 2 overs. Then the second ball of his third over, he was off. He was injured again, off the
Yeah.
park.
Yeah.
And Gavaskar was saying, "Good player, but you got to stay on the park."
Which is sort of true. And he's a big guy, as you know. He's not a small guy at all. And I don't know if he does enough to stay in the shape that he needs to. I'm wondering about that sometimes, but he has a point. I mean, he comes out there, and if he starts hitting, he can hit bam, bam, bam. He may make 15, like 20 balls or whatever, and then he's gone. But he also could make two because he just comes and he swings, right?
Yeah,
So, you know, he's supposed to be that bowler batsman, right? So when he bowls, when he's on fire, he does take wickets and he's effective, but he's right. I mean, I can't rely on him to show up for the rest of the season every game.
no, you can't. And he came out and he batted, and he only made 3, as you said.
Yeah.
If he's going well, he'll go well. And
Very inconsistent.
yeah,
Very
they
inconsistent.
lost by 14 runs. And if you're thinking that if he was in good shape, he could have
Yeah.
done much better. But he's,
And that's the thing with it, right? What do? You have a guy like that who's so explosive that if he's on, you're gonna win. But then
hmm
he's off so often. It's like, okay, can I take the chance and put him on? Because if he's on, we're gonna win. So it's tough for them what to do. But he needs to get himself in the shape that he's not having injuries so often.
I think I look at a guy like Russell and what he was like and now, and he seems very bulky. And I just wondered if
Yeah,
he did too much weights.
he's gotten too big in my
Yeah,
exactly my opinion. As I say, he's not in shape because
yeah,
he's just gotten so big. It's like, okay, he's not a short guy. He's a big guy. I know he's
yeah.
just big. He's not athletic. He just
No,
looks
he's
big.
not. He's not.
So I sort
And
of agree with Gavaskar that he needs to be out there a lot more.
yeah, so yeah, but the IPL is just in the infant stages, and
Yeah, just getting going.
yeah, it's getting going. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. And the other matches that well, Pakistan players don't play there, so they're playing a series against New Zealand,
Yeah,
and Pakistan made 182. Thought well, New Zealand.
that's should be able to catch that, right?
I thought so. Matt Henry had a hat trick, and thought they would have, but they were bowled out for 94.
I was quite surprised at that. That's very unusual for New Zealand actually to not make a
Yeah,
hundred
it was very unusual, especially chasing to the small total.
totals.
But
Yeah,
I was really shocked to see the result of that one. The next game goes today at 12 noon for those who
Yeah,
want to watch the game. And good series. I think New
it is.
Zealand will bounce back. I don't think they'll lose again that easily.
I think so as
But
well. But with Pakistan, you just never know. When they're on, they're on.
oh, Pakistan and they're home.
Yeah, yeah. So you have to be careful of them. But yeah, New Zealand should win.
Yeah, they should. The other cricket which last week we mentioned about the rising stars. Now we've got a winner.
Yeah,
Trinidad were crowned winners, undefeated.
yeah.
So
They were in a nice little
kudos.
roll there. They just
Yeah,
rolled through the tournament.
they did. They just went right through and won everything. And the most runs was by Fontaine, 197. Yasser Dean had the most wickets, 14.
Hmm.
Most dismissals was Ramanan. He had 9 dismissals, and the most catches was Charles, with 6. So
Yeah.
good for the youngsters. They were all happy, I think. Couple of upsets in there because Leeward Islands beat Barbados. Barbados normally very strong at that level.
Yeah, I was surprised they lost 2 games, right?
Yeah,
Or
they
three,
did.
3 games. I
Three
think it
games.
was
Three
three
games.
games. Yeah,
Yeah, because
which
they
is
lost
very
their last
unusual.
game as well. So
Yeah, very unusual.
yeah, they only made 69 in the last game against Guyana, which was really, really shocking.
It is, it is. But I know after the tournament, I mean, all the newspapers in Jamaica, they're coming out saying it's the end of Jamaica's cricket because Jamaica came last, I think, and they came
Hmm.
last in the 4 day in Caribbean 4 day tournament as well. So they're saying they're just coming last in everything now. So
I,
cricket is done in Jamaica.
I Yeah, I don't totally agree, but I think they just need to relook at things. Maybe they need a change in administration. Do you need a guy like maybe he needs to get out of it? Or Billy Haven, he pulled out of West Indies. Maybe you should just pull out and get somebody who's interested. And I
Yeah,
believe the
that's a
whole
good way to put it. Somebody
Caribbean,
who's interested.
yeah, the whole Caribbean to me, I think we need to get back to the schoolboys cricket.
Yeah, yeah, that's where it
And
starts. That's
that
where it
makes sense. I
starts.
mean, just like how you have champs for
Yes.
athletics.
Yeah,
You need
yeah.
something like that for cricket too. Oh, it's
And I
just
think I think your friend Dave Cameron was sort of saying the same thing. Get to the grassroots, get these guys
yeah,
involved, bring it back into the schools. And I think somebody started to donate gears to some schools and all of that to get it going in Jamaica. So
yeah.
if that happens across the Caribbean and they have competitions, then it will come back.
Actually, Tyson Garden, who I mentioned last week, played. He donated a bat to all the kids who had centuries
There you
in the
go.
school's competition. So that
That's
was a
good.
good thing
That's good.
for him.
That's
His
good.
son had 2 centuries, so he had to give his two.
Too bad.
Yeah, so
He looked
it
after
was
his
good.
kid.
Yeah. So news and notes. Cricket West Indies senior panel that selected 3 teams for the Headley Weeks Championship, which starts on the 19th. Joshua De Silva will captain the team weeks, and Alec Athanaze will captain um,
Oh,
the
Athens is okay.
go ahead, yeah, the Headley.
No, I thought Athens is the Headley. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I thought the Headley was
Or is it
the
the other
silver.
way around?
Yeah, I
Sorry.
think the
Yes,
silver.
yes. Sorry. The Silva is the Headley, and Athanaze is the
The
weeks,
weeks. Yeah,
team
yeah,
weeks. Yes,
yeah.
sorry. And yes, and the other team will be the academy team, and they have
Yeah.
not named the captain for that yet.
I mean,
Um,
just looking at it, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with Joshua this year. I'm a little surprised at Athens, but I mean, I don't know if he's been pushed too fast, too quickly. But
well,
De Silva, I think, is the vice captain for the West Indies.
yeah, he was, yes, but Athanaze is captain the Windward Islands, the second
Yeah,
position this year.
yeah, I
So I
know.
guess
So,
they're thinking,
but
and he's
he's
leader.
young. But I mean, yeah, I'm just hoping that they're not putting too much on him too quickly. But you're right. They're giving
Yeah,
him the opportunity, and he has stood up to it so far.
true. Other news and notes, what you mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
West Indies has sacked their coaching staff, the women's coaching staff. So Courtney Walsh, technical assistants, Robert Samuels and Corey Collymore, their contracts were not renewed. And Courtney Walsh was on Mason and Guest this week, and he said he was surprised. And he said he was in Antigua at the time. The CEO was there, but it was Jimmy Adams who called him from South Africa to give
Yeah,
him the
I didn't. This whole thing is just confusing to me. Why the disrespect? I mean, just
yeah.
sit down and have a conversation with the guy.
Exactly. And he said the review he had 6 months ago, there was no indication.
That this was
He had
coming.
his performance review. There was no indication this was coming.
And I see Red Pereira jumping in and saying, "This is wrong. This is madness. You can't do it like this." So Walsh
But
has a lot
it's
of support. I have a lot of. I believe in Walsh, and I think he was doing the right things. He was building the kids coming in. He struggled because his two best players are not there. Dutton
yeah,
stopped playing, and Stephanie was
and
injured.
exactly.
Right?
And
You lose your two best players. What do you think is going to happen? Your
I
number
think the
three stood
team
up, but
the team was starting to get better to me, in
they
my
were, yeah,
opinion.
they were
Yeah,
syncing up and all of that, and I mean it's just unfortunate to see how it happened. And I don't know. As I said, I met
maybe the new president want to go a different direction.
maybe. And I was saying I met Jimmy Adams through Courtney
Mhm.
Walsh. I mean, I was at his home at a party, and so I know they're close friends. I can imagine
It
Adams having to
was
call him,
awkward, I
tell him,
think. I'm sure it was an awkward because they played together, they're
yeah,
friends,
they're close
and
friends and everything.
you said the conversation wasn't very long.
No, well,
Because I mean, like,
your best friend is, or one of your best friends calling you to tell you that you're
tell you
fired.
that,
I mean, how is that
exactly.
conversation going to
Very
go?
awkward, awkward position for sure.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And in news and notes, Puran has been given support to Rishabh Pant because Rishabh Pant he's got another maybe the rest of the year to rehab from his accident, and
Yeah.
Puran was in an accident a few years back and couldn't walk. It took him 6 months to start to walk again.
Look again. Yeah.
So he's giving that support to Rishabh Pant and telling him to hang in there. He told him, he'll there are times he'll get depressed and frustrated, but he's giving that support, and that's good to see.
Yes,
And
it is. Whenever these things happen, the most important thing is the support you get. I mean, it can get lonely.
it
It can get
can get
really
very
lonely.
lonely.
Any
Yeah,
support you get is going to be crucial, especially from a big name player.
it is. And Roger, no surprise to me because I've been seeing the way Saudi Arabia has been moving recently,
Hmm.
and they have now come out and said they've announced just breaking news
Hmm.
that they are going to have the richest T20 cricket tournament.
Oh my word! Oh my word!
So, I mean, the way they've gone with sports recently, the golf, the
The live
soccer,
sports, yeah,
yeah,
the soccer,
going
yeah.
after everybody. Now they're going after cricket, and they have announced that they will have the richest T20.
It's going to be interesting to see because I know they went after horse racing as well, and it sort of hasn't really panned out. But they have the money, so they can
They
go after
have the
anything they
money.
want, right? So
I mean,
you're right. I mean, you could see it coming, and now it's here.
yeah, and they've when with the announcement, there's a picture of the president of Saudi Arabian cricket with Imran Khan. I'm not Imran Khan, with Wasim Akram.
Azim Akram. Okay, okay.
So they're going to be look, and they've also met with the head of the Indian cricket,
Cricket.
and they've also met with the Indian ambassador. So they are looking to go big with the cricket, and a lot of people. There's still some fuss, from what I understand, in Saudi Arabia because they are saying that the Saudi Arabia Cricket Association is neglecting the grassroots and they just want
Yeah.
to go big and forget local cricket.
Forget local cricket. I mean, and I think that's the MO, right? I don't think they care about building something. They care about getting something and getting the spotlight.
Yeah, that's
They're
what
not.
they
They're not.
do,
They're not building anything.
and I think that's their plan for sports, and
Yep.
we're sticking to it and we're moving on with it.
Yeah, I think I call it the ready-made approach, right? So they
Yeah,
just come in and then boom, we're here. It's like,
yeah,
okay, well, how did we get here? No idea, but we're
yeah. I
here.
could imagine. And you know what, Rajal? Everyone, I don't care which player they are, who they are. Every one of those players, when they see the figures, they are gonna be
They're
jumping
gonna
to get
go.
into that. Yeah,
They're gonna
they're
go.
gonna go.
I mean,
So,
and England would dare say if you were active right now, you'd probably go
oh, I
too.
would be there. I'd be there. I can go. Maybe I should go and train. I might get in.
You never know. You could get a
You
shot
have the
there.
right, if you have the right agent, you get in those
You can
things
get in. Yeah, yeah.
for
It's
sure.
crazy.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll leave it on that for cricket. Couldn't get bigger news than that coming out this morning.
That's
Uh,
massive
so watch
news.
out for the Saudi Arabia T20. Wow.
It's going to be interesting to see how that one works out, but I'm pretty sure it's going to go well. When there's a
I'm
lot of
pretty
money
sure.
involved, everyone is going to show up. Big names
Yeah,
are there, crowds are going to be there. They
yeah.
have a good shot at making it work.
They will make it work, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's it for cricket. And then, as we mentioned at the top, there's so much happening in track and field. And there's a particular question I want to ask you when you get to it, but
Okay.
about Elaine.
Oh,
And yeah, I'll turn it over to you to talk about track.
Yes, track and field is, as you said, smoking hot these days. And last weekend, Ingle, we saw that young lady that everyone is talking about in good ways and bad ways, but this time it was the good way. Shakari
Mhm.
Richardson returned, and everyone is saying Shakari is back. She
Mhm.
ran 10.57, the
Yep.
fourth fastest time under all conditions because it was wind assisted with a plus 4.1 wind.
Hmm.
But England was an interesting race because she won celebrating before she got to the tape and all of that type of stuff. So you know she
Right.
can go faster. And when they convert this, this would have worked out to a 10.77 under still conditions. So,
Mm.
that is zero in. So if it was like a plus one point something, she would have been in the 10 sixes here. So she is flying.
And
And,
the thing about it is, the next person was in 11. So I've seen
eh,
comments with people saying that, oh, it's winner 60.
yeah,
But look how fast she was ahead.
exactly. You got to look who is in the race and how she's
Yeah.
beating them, right? So I know Jamaica Natasha Morrison was in there. I think she was like third or fourth. So she runs with the Jamaicans, and you can see her close to Shelley or Elaine. Now I think it's the same distance. Shakari was ahead of her. So
Hmm.
I think she's going to be very, very competitive this year if she continues to run like this. Um, it's going to be very interesting because she loves the spotlight, and when she's on, she's on. A very, very fast race. Give her credit for what it is. She's back on the track. She's doing well. I thought after her meltdown on the airplane, she would have lost her mind, but you know what? She seems focused and ready, and it's going to be a humdinger for a year between her and the Jamaicans and
Yeah.
all the Europeans and all that coming here. So the 100 is going to be very, very, very hot. Also, Aliyah Hobbs, of course, she's now the indoor champ and all of that for
Hmm.
the US, and she's supposed to be there number one, and she blasted at 10.87. Right, so she actually has the official world lead because Shakari's times were wind assisted. So
Right.
yeah, she came in and she ran a really good 10.87, looking really good as well. So America has a 1-2 punch here that is going to be very, very, very dangerous. We'll see how much happens in the U.S. Gabby Thomas is there, and all these other up and comers are there. So it's going to be a nice, nice year this year, Ingle. Lots and lots of fast sprinting all over the place.
And that's how it should be.
And that's how it should be, and that's how it's going to be, which is great. But also, as we spoke a little bit about Elaine, and talk about fast sprinting, as you know, double Olympic champion, 100 and 200 twice, and she came out with her 200-meter season opener, and she only ran 23:23,
Mhm.
losing to last year's American 100-meter champion Melissa Jefferson, 23:02. So, I mean, of course, you're gonna have the comments. She changed coach. Her coach doesn't know what she's doing. Her coach is her husband. So I don't know what's going on. It wasn't an impressive racing. It just was
No, it
not
wasn't. And that's what I wanted to add because Elaine normally starts better than that. And
way better, way better.
there's some people who say, I've been just following some comments online and stuff, and people are saying things like that. She's gonna have a bad year until she change camps, and uh, and that
That's a big question, Ingle. How do you do?
yeah, that's the big talk to seem to be on the and people are saying just leave her alone. Well, as supporters definitely will say that, but
Yeah.
she said she was injured last year. Is she still injured, or is
No,
she?
she's not. So early season is early season. Others have been sort of racing. She hasn't. So
Hmm.
it's probably just her first race, and she's just not sharp, or maybe it's a travel. I don't know what it is, but they are right. It was not an impressive opener. To be running 23 is a little of a surprise.
Right.
It's a little slow, and everybody's looking out for her to fail because a lot of people felt she should not have left Stephen Francis. She went with her husband, who has no reputation as a big coach. He hasn't done anything in terms of having any international athlete winning anything. So
Right.
she moved over to him. He works with Bird Cameron, who also has struggles producing great sprinters. He's more like a quarter miler coach. So it's interesting to see her decision making and how it's going to help her. But she is a very dangerous athlete, and I think
Yes.
I just put this race away and say, you know what, chalk it up to her first race. Let's see how she does as the season goes along. But if she doesn't get going quickly, she's going to run into problems making the Jamaica team. So she has to be very, very careful. Her, the juniors are running faster than her, and
Yeah.
when that
Everybody's
happens,
so
it
quick.
doesn't look good.
Yeah, I think I back her to come back. I think I put it
Sure.
up to that to first race, but
Yeah.
everybody else started so sharp, so I guess that's why it's shocking.
There you go. Because
Yeah.
in that same meet, she ran the Olympic Development 200. In the
Mm.
college 200, this young lady from St. Lucia who's just burning up the
Oh
track every
yeah,
time she
she's
touches it,
just yeah,
Julian Alfred, she
yeah.
scored 21.91.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have a race 21.91 and then Elaine 23.23. So that's a huge gap. But yeah, Julian Alfred is on fire. World leading time, national record, of course, in the 200 meters, 21.91. And remember, this is the race she says she hates the 200.
She hates
so
this race. Yeah.
so if she hates it and she's only 21.9, oh my God, what is going to happen in that 100 that she really likes? So I tell you, man, I'm looking forward to see just how well this young lady is going to do this year. But a very, very fast race for her. And I'm really, really excited to see what she's going to do as the year goes on.
Mhm.
Also, at that meet, we saw Noah Lyles. He's another talker and another high profile sprinter. And he won the 200 meters in 20.16, running into a minus 1.2 strong headwind. So he would have gone 19 points in his opener. So he's also looking good. I mean,
Yeah.
no one was close to him. I think 20.7 came second, so he was way, way ahead. But yeah, Noah Lyles, one to look out for. I can tell you that.
For
He
sure.
wants to do something special.
Yeah.
And I don't know how fast he's going to go, but he wants to do something special. I don't know if the world record is what it's going to take, but he definitely wants to do something special. In some news and notes, Ingle. So we saw Ryan Krauser earlier in the year. He broke the world record for the shot put and he was bouncing off the walls. So on April Fool's Day, April 1st, he got a call that he's not going to be ratified with his world record. And he thought it was an April Fool's joke,
Mm.
but it was not. So,
Oh really?
yeah, they said the diameter of the circle wasn't correct.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
and the field that he threw on was downhill, and that's not allowed. So he can't get the world record.
Oh wow.
Like,
So
I
didn't they
can't
know
think
that
of any.
before?
Thank you. Thank you.
Come on.
So it's just sad to see. I mean, he wouldn't have known, but the meet directors should have managed that. If it's an international competition, it has to meet international standards, and apparently didn't. So, of course, he's not happy about that, but I think he's good enough to come back and break it again.
Mm.
We talk about your favorite topic now, the Carifta Games.
Character, yes.
Carifta Games in Bahamas. So I thought it was going to be a Caribbean warfare over there because no one seemed really happy. There was so many mistakes and poor administration. Ingle, I tell you, it was sad watching some of these things that happened there. Sad,
It it was.
really sad. So Jamaica won the Carifta Games again. They haven't lost since 1984, so they own this tournament, and they topped the table with 78 medals, 40 of which were gold. So they were big winners. But they had so many controversies there. It was wow. Should we keep going to this game because these guys don't even know what they're doing, or is it just a Bahamas thing? So they've always said Bahamians don't like the Jamaicans, and maybe that's what it is. But Jamaica won three of the four by one relays. And at one
Mhm.
point, they wanted to take away two from the three that they won. They got disqualified in the one they came second, and they wanted to take away the other two.
They
And it
wanted to
was just,
rerun one of
yeah,
them, right?
yeah. So they won the 4x1, and they ran past Bahamas. But that race itself, the Bahamians sat in the blocks. Everybody got up and run except him.
Mm-hmm.
And for some strange reason, they called it back. And
Yeah.
then when the rerun happened, because some people ran 40 and 50 meters, right? And the Bahamian guy was just sitting in his block, so he didn't run anything.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't have called it back though because there was no infringement. Nothing went wrong with the race.
Right.
They called it back. They reran it. Bahamas was leading in the last 50 meters, and the Jamaican sprinted by him. Then Barbados apparently complained that the Bahamian had an advantage because he ran 40 meters and the Bahamian ran zero. So
Right.
they wanted it to be rerun. Now, this race, there was nothing to say that something was wrong with the race. It was official and everything. You can't go back now and say, oh, somebody appealed after and they're going to rerun the race. So, of course, nobody showed up. So, the Jamaicans had the guys on the 4x1. They were supposed to do other events like the 200 or hurdles or whatever. So they just couldn't do it. So they said, you know what? Let's just let it stand as it is. But that should not have even been a conversation, Ingle.
No, it
It
shouldn't.
was absolutely crazy. In the 110-meter hurdles for under 20 boys, the race was run. Jamaica was one first and third after This is after the ceremony. They said,
Wow.
"Oh, by the way, the Jamaican fall started." Could you tell me that after the ceremony you're just finding out that somebody fall started?
Somebody false that. And not
And
even,
then to make it worse, the guy that they said fall started was the winner, and it wasn't him.
it was the wrong guy, yeah.
It was the wrong guy. It's like, what is happening here? That's just embarrassing.
It was.
Embarrassing. So I don't know. So they say, oh, the wrong people got the medals, and it was just, I don't know. And
It was a lot of confusion, and even in St. Kitts, there's a lot of because the Kiddishan runner had to run. He made the finals. They made a mistake. He didn't get in, and then
get
he
it
had to run by
exactly run by
himself.
himself. I was like, yeah, that's the
And
next one.
then
It's like, what is this?
and then the clock was not working, so you don't know what time he did.
Thank you.
Right.
I don't know. Talk about follow up bleeps and blunders. This kind of games was it.
This was it. Yeah, for sure.
It's so embarrassing, England. I don't even know what to say. I mean, this is an international. Sebco was there, and it was so funny. The organizing committee head was saying, "Oh, Sebco said this was the best Caribbean Games he has ever
Really.
been to," and I have nothing else to say.
Yes,
There was
you
a
should have a
lot of
lot more to
mistakes.
say.
You should have a lot more to say. It was just bad what happened. I saw, and I was just shocked at this. I saw when they were doing the long jump that you had three people holding up numbers, right? So you didn't have a digital board. So
Wow.
you don't know what the person jumped. You had somebody to put up the number. Sometimes they were showing the wrong things. And it's like, I haven't seen that since like the 80s. Everybody has a digital board. What happened here?
Yeah.
Three young ladies standing up holding 6.44. It's like, how do you do this? So, Ingle, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I don't think Bahamas should be hosting anytime soon.
That's what a lot of people are saying, and they're concerned because they have the world relays coming up there next year, and they're like, okay, is this what is going to happen there? Although I will say the world relays has usually gone off pretty good, so I'm not. That's why I'm a little surprised at how badly this was done, because there were just too many mistakes, way too many mistakes, and of course, some Jamaicans at least are coming out saying, why are we even going there? We win every year by so far, it's not worth our
Yeah, they
time.
do.
People are going and getting injuries, and they're fighting against us, and I don't know what to say. I don't know if they're fighting against it, but they do say the Bahamians are not lovers of the Jamaicans. They talk about champs where you had over 100 athletes from over 20 countries. Pretty much every Eastern Caribbean country had a representation there in Jamaica high school, except Bahamas.
Hmm.
No one from the Bahamas comes to Jamaica, so they just think it's something going on. I don't know if there's any merit to that, but at the end of the day, it was a poorly run meet. People complain about the partisan crowd, but I mean that should be expected. But
Of
I don't
course.
know.
Yes.
I don't know.
They're
It should
home.
not happen administratively, and I think a lot of mistakes were happening. I mean, one of the Jamaican coaches said he spent pretty much three-quarters of his time doing administrative stuff, arguing about lanes, arguing about results, arguing about changes. They screwed up the schedule. They made so many mistakes. It was unbelievable,
Hmm.
unbelievable. So disappointing, but
Very.
it's happened, and as they say, we sort of have to move on from it. So, but it's
Yeah.
very, very disappointing. We also saw Ingle Monday. This Monday coming, Eliud Kipchoge, marathon runner, Kenya, coming to North America. So the Boston Marathon goes on Monday, and it's high. I mean, they're showing it live on ESPN. Everybody wants to see if he's going to break the world record here. I don't know if he will. He said he trains the same way he trains for any other marathon, so he can break it any time, in my opinion. So who knows? Maybe Monday's the day we're gonna see a world record in the marathon
If the
in North
conditions are
America.
right, he will, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm looking forward to see how well he will do. But I myself want to take a peek at the marathon. I usually don't watch it. I just watch the results or the finish. But I may actually watch a bit of it because I want to see if he's gonna do it or not.
For sure.
A lot of hype around him. And finally, Oregon World Championships last year in the USA, the organizing committee did so well, England, and it's just very unusual. They did so well. They could find $275,000 to give back
Wow.
to an
It's
Oregon
not,
charity. So they put it in a development program there in Oregon. So that was huge to see, and kudos to them. They made enough money that they could do that, and it's good to see. Sports happen. Usually you have these events, and they go over budget and all of that. This
hmm
one had money left over. So I
It's
hope
not
that's a
normal.
template
Yeah,
to go forward.
yeah, because it's not normal. People
Nope.
always asking for more.
Always asking for more.
Yeah,
They had enough that they could share it around. All right, that's about it for track and field for now, and we're gonna skip over to football. That some people call
football.
soccer,
Yeah,
some people call soccer, but it's gonna be football. Yeah, so the Gold Cup is coming up, England. Great news! Toronto's BMO Field has been named as one of the 15 host stadiums. Right, so
but
the other 14 are across the border, but BMO Field, you can
but
catch a game there. There's no buts.
for the World Cup, you've heard all the
No, not for
money
the
and
world, not for the
oh, I thought
World
you
Cup.
said the World Cup.
No,
Sorry,
the Gold Cup.
Gold Cup, Gold Cup. Oh, okay. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the Gold Cup.
yeah, the Gold Cup.
Because
They're good for the Gold
yeah,
Cup.
there's a lot of controversy this week about the money involved, and the city is going to be
On the,
having to
okay,
fork out for the BMO
I know.
field for the World Cup.
Yeah,
So
that one is
probably
gonna come up. I
yeah,
don't know.
we'll discuss that later on. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
for
the
sure,
Gold
for
Cup.
sure.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, for the World Cup, I think is yeah, they're gonna have to battle that because they got it and they don't know how they're gonna pay for it. But the Gold Cup, they seem fine. There's not a lot of games. I mean, most of the games are going to be in the States, but it's good to
Right.
see even one or two games here, and that's pretty exciting news. I can head downtown and watch this, so looking forward to seeing that. But the draw was made
Mm-hmm.
earlier this week, and Canada's been joining Group D with Cuba, Guatemala, and are qualified to be named. So I think it's a pretty good group for Canada to go through, and they're thinking they want to win this whole thing. So it will be interesting to see if they can actually do that. In Group C, you have Costa Rica, Panama, El Salvador, and a qualifier. Group B, Mexico, Haiti, Honduras, and an invitational side,
Qatar.
which is
Yeah.
going to be Qatar. So Qatar, last time they went to the finals. Let's see what they're going to do this time. And in Group A, we got USA versus
Jamaica.
Jamaica.
They always
Always
seem
want to
to.
see
They
that.
always seem
Always,
to play each other though.
they always find a way to play each other. So it's going to be interesting to see if Jamaica
Yeah.
can top them this time. Nicaragua is also in this group and a qualifier. So it's going to be interesting to see, the competition. It looks pretty solid. Canada has a shot. USA has a shot. Mexico has a shot. And who knows what Costa Rica will do. So,
So you'll have judging from the matchups. I think you'll have Sinkers with you in the group.
oh, they're the ones that are looking to be the
They're the
qualifier?
one, yeah, that will probably be the qualifier. The qualifier from matchup 3 versus matchup 4.
Right.
Matchup
Okay.
3 is Curacao and St. Kitts, and matchup
Ah,
4 is French Guiana and St. Martin. So
okay.
I'm
Okay.
thinking St. Kitts should come through that and then probably end up with Jamaica.
That would be very nice. Yeah, it'd be good to get St. Kitts right there. They've come
Yeah,
along as a footballing nation. So it's good to see that they're right on the cups of coming to the Gold Cup. It's a big thing to make the Gold Cup.
it's a
You know
big
that.
thing, yeah, for
So
sure.
it'd be huge for St. Kitts to be there. Oh my lord, that is exciting news. So looking forward to see. But it's a good competition, and I'm looking forward to this year's competition. And I think the opportunity to go watch it is also very exciting for me, actually. So
Yeah,
I am
great.
actually looking forward to going to a game this year. Quickly, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the Champions League because we saw Manchester City take on Bayern Munich, and it wasn't even close, Ingle. It was 3-0 in that quarterfinal game. Man City just demolished Bayern. But as they said, add insult to injury. Two of the Bayern players started fighting in the in the locker room. Big names: Sadio Mane from Senegal, Leroy Sané, from Germany. So they got into a fight. I think they both got fines and all of that by their clubs, but just not a good look. At this point in time,
No,
you're down 3-0 and then you're fighting. It's just not a good look. So
it's true.
we'll see how that one works out. While the other one in the Europa Cup, Manchester United, I thought, I need to stop doing this. At halftime, they were up 2-0, and I was like, oh, this game is over. But in the last 5 minutes, Sevilla came back and scored two goals, so they
True.
ended up
Yeah,
tying 2-2. It's like, oh my God, what is happening here? So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Manchester United. Now they have a bunch of injuries on top of that. So I don't know. We will see what happens in the second leg of those quarterfinal games. This weekend, Engel, as we finish up, the English Premier League.
yeah.
Arsenal versus West Ham tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
So it's a lot of pressure on Arsenal. West Ham is sort of struggling this year, so they want to do well at all times. So they're going to be a dangerous team. I don't know what you think. Is this
I
an Arsenal
think
game?
I think Arsenal should win, but the way they played the last game, they were up 2-0 and then drew that game against Liverpool.
Yep.
And
Yep.
there's probably nerves. So, but it should not be a difficult win against a team like West Ham.
It
But
shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. But you know
but
what?
it's
When the
pressured
pressure's
back.
on you, you never know. West Ham
Yeah.
is desperate. Arsenal is stressed. Will be
And
interesting game for sure.
after today's game, they'll probably just be 3 points ahead of Man City because Man City is playing Leicester
Leicester and Man
and
City should win. I mean,
should win.
they're more
Leicester
consistent
is
than Man City.
second from the bottom of the table.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
Could be
so
dangerous though, because they change coaches and all of that, so you
the
never
change,
know.
yeah.
But yeah, Man City should win. Arsenal should win as well. But if they don't, then suddenly from an 8 point lead to a 3 point lead, it's that's when true pressure comes on you
Yeah,
and stress. I don't know
for
how that's
sure.
gonna go.
So that the Manchester City game is the late game for today.
Today, yep,
And the early game we had Aston Villa 3-0 over Newcastle.
which was good for me personally
Yeah,
because Man U, are tied with Newcastle, so all Man U has to do is win tomorrow
went to Moria.
against Nottingham Forest, and yeah, they'll be back in third. So they better just do that. They have a lot of injuries though.
Yeah, they do.
Lisandro Martinez is out. Rafael Varane is injured for the next few games. So Marcus Rashford is injured. So they have a few injuries to deal with. But I'm hoping that
Yes,
Manchester
we're
United
gonna
finds a
see.
way.
Yeah, because Rashford will be out for a bit. Yes,
Yep.
and
Yep. That's
halftime
huge.
scores going into today is Chelsea and Brighton 1-1, Everton and Fulham 1-1, Southampton and Crystal Palace 0-0, Wolverhampton Wanderers and Brentford, Wolverhampton 1-0, Tottenham Spurs 1-1 with Bournemouth, and as we said, Manchester City and Leicester the late game.
Late game,
So
yeah. Pretty much everybody's tired except for
everybody, yeah, if
yeah. So, but we're gonna have a
I
lot.
am now starting to lean to Man City to win the championship.
You know what? I'm gonna wait for this weekend first.
Yeah,
If Arsenal finds a way to win, it will tell me that they probably are gonna be ready to hold on. But if they don't win today, then they're in trouble,
if they don't win, they're in trouble. And yeah, just 6 or 8 more games after,
yeah,
including today. Yeah,
including today. So
so
it's winding down. It's
Man
winding
City
down.
has 9 games. So
Yeah, they can catch them. They can
for
catch them.
sure. As usual, there's so much to discuss on the sports, but we've come to the end of our time
Yes, we are.
for another Saturday. So for wherever you are, enjoy your day, enjoy your night, your evening, whatever you're doing,
And enjoy your
uh,
sports.
and
Lots
enjoy
of
the
sports
sports.
going on
Lots
out
of
there
sports to
for
watch.
everyone. If it's golfing, NBA, cricket, track and
Soccer,
field, it's all happening.
football. Yeah. So enjoy. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Have a great weekend, everyone. See you next week.